Okay. How was everyone's week? Sorry, wanted to make sure I finished that up stuff.
Busy, but busy times.
Yes, indeed.
Looking forward to Grub tomorrow. That'll be good.
That'll be fun. I'm really excited for the new menu. He's been
Mhm.
telling me to come time and time again, so
I
excited
worked
to
at
I'm
check it out.
coming and
Cedars.
I'm bringing friends.
Ooh. I worked at Cedars and taught some trail rides and did a early 4th of July morning canter. That was fun.
Are you at summer camp right now?
No. I was just there for the weekend.
Oh.
When I have a contract with them that so I have like a on file thing that if they're ever like super slammed with numbers, they can and it's a weekend I don't have plans, they can call me up and I'll come down. And they had a CIP, or they had a kids middle school group that was like 35 kids. And there's just not enough, well trained enough for staff to cover that. So I went down.
Okay.
Horsing around.
Quite literally. It was very hot and then it stormed like crazy thunderstorm. But it was still nice enough that we were able to do the morning canter on Sunday. Which is fun. My favorite part.
I'm deeply afraid of horses and other I am deeply afraid of horses and other big animals.
Oh, I get it. I mean, there's sometimes that they freak me out too.
They're powerful.
Yeah. They're powerful.
The only time I'm ever like actually scared of horses is when I'm loading them in and out of trailers, and I'm like,
cows can be kind of scary.
Big animals, scary. Birds, terrifying. Also.
Oh man, I'm not
Horses
afraid
and I
of geese
don't
at
see
all.
eye to eye, even though we see eye to eye.
I
You're
think
not
it would
afraid
take a minimum of 4 geese to get me.
What?
I
No
could handle
fucking
4
way.
geese.
Hold on.
I think I can fight 4 geese.
You think you
Nah,
can fight
if it was a
4
Canadian
geese?
goose, it's just one.
they're big, they're strong, and having been bitten by them
Standard
before,
American goose, I can handle 4 of them.
No, dude, it hurts when they bite you. The some at
Grace,
the wildlife
no
center
offense,
bit me.
but I'm built different.
Hey,
No,
like
your
You
skin
can't handle the Canadian Navy.
I'm a little bit of a
Fights hurt.
problem.
You no shot.
They're like
No
tanks
shot you
in
can
bird
handle 4
form. There's no
geese.
way.
The
There
bird you're
is
thinking
no
of is
way.
the swan. The goose is not actually that sturdy of a bird.
Oh,
Oh, am
but
I
they
thinking
have,
of
they're
swans?
filled with hate.
Yeah.
I
might
mean,
be
it's
thinking of
true.
swans.
If you grab the neck just right, you have 1 mace to use against 3 other birds.
Exactly. All it is
But-
2 weapons and 2 geese.
But while
2
you're grabbing
weapons
that
and
neck,
2
that
geese.
head is going to be biting like your crotch or your
Nah,
face
that
or
goose
your
is super
arm.
dead.
No way. You grab that. It's like a snake. You grab the
goose
the
is
snake behind
cooked.
the head, you're good to go.
I don't like all this geese abuse talk.
They abuse us.
Yeah, it's not geese abuse, that's geese defense. We need to know how to defend ourselves against geese.
Yeah, in this
I guess
scenario,
Lawrence
they are
can just do
bloodlusted.
it. Okay,
the children.
bloodlust geese. Are you
Think
sure
of
you
the
could take on a
children.
bloodlust geese? Think of the children.
I'm bloodlusted too.
Okay, this is an interesting scenario. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice. This time, Bermuda Bay. My name is M, and this time I'm DMing. So I don't quite know how to do this. I don't know. I did think about it for a second, so I think what I'm going to do is say that, yeah, Bermuda Bay, we're doing a 1920s style cruise from Florida down to Puerto Rico, where they have gone so far, and on to Bermuda, and then back to Florida, as a cruise does. We're doing the loop, right? That's the idea. We're doing a 1920s style cruise. We are commoners in Dungeons & Dragons because the idea is moving into Dungeons & Dragons at some point. We'll see. Who knows? We're on a cruise. Who knows what'll happen? There's a little bit of mystery, a little bit of intrigue, but let's introduce the characters on the cruise. Who wants to go first?
Starting, of course, with Samson Billful. intrepid investor and owner of many patents. I think our question this week was, what's something that would surprise you about the character and ourselves?
Yeah,
For
what's a
me-
fact? Yeah, what's a fact about you that we're like, huh, I didn't see that coming.
For me, I think until you talked to me for about 5 minutes, I have eaten every world's hottest pepper since the ghost pepper was the hottest pepper. There have been about 4 since then.
Ooh.
All of them hot. Samson Billfold, he was in the room whenever the Billfold was patented. He did already have that name, and he did get money for that. And no other factor did he have in the invention of the Billfold.
Damn. Is that where a lot of his wealth comes from, or is it like actual success with other
That's where
patents?
his wealth was before he squandered it.
That's like how he started his wealth off?
All of the current wealth is new wealth that he's had to get from
Sure.
scratch.
But his like starting like how I can jump into this world was because
Exactly.
he had the name
The
Billfold and was in
original
the room where it
original
happened.
Billfold investing firm was founded using money that he got from the guy who invented the Billfold,
Damn.
because he just had to use that name.
Damn. Crazy.
Too perfect.
Too perfect.
Are we doing our usual order? Or is it a different order now that we're in a different?
Yeah. Grace, take it away. What you got?
Okay. My name is Grace Stringer. And I play Beryl von Cartland, who is a 17-year-old heiress on vacation. And I guess we're not saying what our race is yet.
We're
That's a
humans. What
secret?
are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I'm so human.
Yes, you are. You are very human. Don't say it like it's weird. Unless because you're so
Unless?
rich, you could be a part of the Illuminati. You could be a snake person. But
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
true.
that's like off.
QAnon.
Damn it.
The,
It's
Please
racist
don't
and
be
alien.
reptilian.
alien living among us. Men in
That's what I'm
Black?
saying. We could pull an Illuminati with Grace, but for now, you're human.
Don't
and
worry,
if you
guys,
say
I'm so
I'm
human.
definitely okay, stop it. That's where the problem is.
Why do the Stringers have such a good ability of saying something and making me not trust them?
I really trust her slitted eyes.
Okay. And then a fact about Beryl that you wouldn't know just looking at her is that she's actually super into topiary. She really loves all the different types of shapes, and she's gotten into doing it herself, and she has submitted some for some shows, and she's just super into it. Loves all the different animals and spirals and all that stuff. And a fact
Yeah.
about me that you wouldn't know, I think that I work at a crematorium, and I know a lot about the death process. I just think most 25-year-olds aren't working for a crematorium.
We may know that, but that's absolutely a fair fact. Yeah, that's absolutely a fair you may not know upon first meeting me.
I just feel like when you picture a funeral home, you're not picturing like someone in their mid-20s working there.
That's yeah. You could give all the grieving family business cards for Dungeons, Drive-ins, and Dice.
Where do the old crematorium workers come from then?
Fuck. Do they work there their whole life? No, Grace.
There are some people that have been there for 25 years.
Sure.
Lost her already.
We
It's too
lost her
late.
already.
I went to a after hours at the place, and wow, I heard some. They got liquor in them. They told me some gnarly stories, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Holy
At-
cow!
At the place? Like at
Yeah.
the crematorium?
Like in the parking lot, we all just
Oh,
there's like a smoking area, so we all pulled up chairs, and it was closed, but I guess it's like a bonding thing.
You
'Cause the
ever-
gate.
You ever get
ever
drunk
I
at the
bet.
crematorium parking lot?
I bet the smoking spot for the crematorium, that is where you hear some
fucking
stuff.
lit spot. That's where you get the stories.
I heard some crazy stuff, y'all, man. Oh wow. Whew.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah, maybe I'll find a way to pepper them in. I don't know. That's more my other character though. Barrow would never.
Girl's a human.
Barrow is so human.
So human. Mike?
Oh, sure. I have to follow the crematorium stories. I
You
can't
always
top
have to
that.
follow Grace's stories, which is
I'm
like
so sorry.
definitely a high bar.
I'm sorry. I'm interesting and weird.
It's all
Sorry,
good.
I'm so interesting.
So my name is Mike Harrison. I am playing the chief engineer, Carl Nucky. Something that you might not know about Carl is he started his career as a watch repairman. Because he's technical, he likes to put things together, but he learned very quickly he hates tiny parts to things. So he moved on to much bigger pieces of equipment to get as far away from watch repairing as he could.
Okay, but he knows how. He knows how. Did he
He
spend
does
enough
know
time?
how.
Okay.
He just doesn't care for the little tiny pieces.
Sure. That's still fire though. He did it until he learned, and then that's nice.
And if you want one personally that most people don't know about me is I lived in Libya for a year when I was 10 years old.
Libya. Whoa.
Yeah. I got to be about 150 feet away from Muammar Gaddafi and his Cuban bodyguards, and it was terrifying.
Ooh.
Whoa.
See, you're fine with stories.
Yeah. Well, I had to bring out the big guns because you brought out, crematorium after parties. So I had to step it up.
Crematorium after parties is pretty fucking wild. I
That's
just
a good
don't.
band name.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
That is a
true.
good one. Hey all. I'm Theodore Stringer, sometimes GM, this time player. The man behind the wheel of Dibney Smoot. Journalist, ostensibly. Man in disguise, mostly so far.
Ostensibly.
Thing that let's see. People generally, as far as it has gone, have been surprised to learn that I was a wrestler in high school. There's a fact. And what's a surprising thing that people would be surprised about Dibney? Well, I can't make him allergic to shellfish.
Oh. I mean, I'm surprised. Considering he ate a whole bunch of shellfish willingly.
Well, he's going to be surprised too as soon as it kicks in.
Also true.
I think Dibney,
Nice.
His he came from a family of unsuccessful inventors. So his head is full of a lot of theory and a lot of like interesting chitter chatter. But mostly he has watched the fiddling with fiddly things come to naught.
Were there any successes in those inventions, like the first Smoot that attempted to invent, or whatever that people were trying to like follow in the footsteps of, or something?
Oh yeah, Tiberius Smoot.
That sounds hella old. They've been following
Remember, we
for
started in the
hundreds
20s.
of years. Yeah, but Tiberius, spelled with a Y, and
Oh wow, spelled with a Y. Hell yeah, Tiberius invented movable type.
fuck.
I think Tiberius.
In this universe, there was no Johann Gutenberg. Instead, it was Tiberius Smoot.
Johann Gutenberg just stole it from Tiberius Smoot.
There are no other changes.
Yeah, Tiberius Smoot was Gutenberg's next door neighbor.
God damn. Oh no.
Good lore.
Gutenberg was also a rogue, but no one knew about it.
It's the Smoots got too honorable. You need to start stealing more inventions.
We'll never
Smoots.
forgive him.
Never forgive the Gutenbergs. Dang, there's like a family rivalry. If we come across a Gutenberg, Smoot's gotta have some
down.
built-in hatred. Some grandfathered in hatred. I'm M. I introduced myself.
Voice, though?
I'm sorry?
Sorry. So how to do any of those sorts of scenes with that voice?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. The sort of evil, enraged Dibney Smoot is gonna sound still kind of like Dibney Smoot.
Here's my father.
Prepare to die. Yeah, I'm introduced myself in the beginning. Normally player for this current season, but now for the side moment, Bermuda Bay. I am DM. My fun fact that many people may not know about me, though I am rather open about fucking almost any dumb thing I've done. I mean, I'm open about all of them. Talk to me long enough. But my favorite starting fact is that I got a tattoo in like a legitimate, like hardcore cocaine on the bar biker bar, like a legitimate, like party in a gated biker bar, only allowed in if you're allowed in biker bar one night, and that was fun. That was really cool.
Street cred.
Who did you know to get in?
It was actually, so I met this guy through work. We started playing D&D together with a bunch of his friends, and like I would hang out, we would go to movie nights and stuff, and like I was definitely the odd one out in this group. They were all a little bit more like, I don't know, tough like gives the right connotation, right? Then I am, I guess. I don't know the right like vibe, but they're all just a slight different vibe, I think, than I normally give off, and it was always a little bit of a stranger time. But for one of their birthdays, he was like, "Yo, everyone, I'm having a birthday at this bar. Everyone come by." And when I looked up the address, I was like, "Oh fuck, I don't know if I should, because that's in a particular space that I would have to get off a bus and walk several blocks, and I like was not super comfortable, but I was really assured that a lot of this friend group would be there, so I felt a little safer. And when I showed up, no, it was just me. And I did still party with him and like his quote unquote fucking family. Really weird in the beginning because I was literally the only white person in the building, and it looked strange in the beginning, but near the fucking end, man, we were partying, like having a great time. I got a tattoo in the corner of the bar. It was great, like fucking awesome. Had a fantastic time. Great night. I love that night. Wild times though, and let's see, for Chester, the things that people may not know is he runs a wildlife sanctuary for injured animals by him, like himself. Chester runs that. That's what he does in his off times of being a total dillhole. Because in the last episode, we jumped on the boat and headed off towards Puerto Rico. On the way, we got, sort of accustomed to our boat. We have Beryl von Cortlandt hanging out in the sort of presidential suite of the cruise, the most expensive overlooking the deck of the cruise. Daddy bought out presidential suite, and this is amazing. Beryl is really enjoying life on this cruise. Well, I don't want to say she's enjoying it, but I want to say that the things presented to Beryl would be,
I mean, as of right now, she just won her first ever game with money on the line. So I mean, so far.
That's true. Beryl has proven herself to be rather self-starting. She can take care of herself if she needs. She has badminton abilities, which she has exuded with Samson Billfold on the court.
Yeah, technically the self-starting was myself, Samson Billfold. I started the Moneyball game.
That's true. You did start the Moneyball game.
Given just money.
You were given money. Your bet was between you, Samson Billfold and Chester and Veronica, some folks that you know from like growing up in the same sort of wealthy, rich circles. And Samson also knows through his circles of being a quote unquote snake in the grass, says Chester. Dibney.
Business investor.
Dibney and Carl also joined in on this game. Carl learned some different stuff in the background. Carl's investigation is quite different than so far the other three. Dibney is, I would say, more involved with the game in this past episode than total investigation, though he did find out some stuff. Carl mostly found out that there is this ship, while it is supported and sort of armored, what's the right word, bolstered to be, there it is, thank you, reinforced to handle the depths that it will cross briefly. It is not built for crossing ocean depths, which, even though briefly, like, it is not like you're skipping over a gap in the ocean floor, right? Like, briefly is still several miles of deep ocean that you're worried about crossing. And you have discovered this. You've discovered the captain is worried. You've discovered that the boat is not exactly where you would like it to be. That doesn't mean that it won't cut it. You trust these reinforcements, but you would prefer to be on an ocean liner rather than a bay liner to cross any amount of ocean gap, I think is mostly what you've discovered. But you did get to watch this game from the outside and help pick up the absolute shrimp cataclysm caused by Dibney Smoot, the shrimp man. Shrimp everywhere, all over Dibney. Smells like shrimp. Had to change out of his suit because it just was shrimp infested.
It's gonna be a fun surprise for another coworker.
Yep, put it in the shrimp drawer of the kitchen like a fucking monster. and then put on his workman's uniform, his workman's overalls, and got pulled into work because there was a problem. That wasn't really a problem. The ship just sort of scuffed up against some coral, but that sent everyone into high alert, and everyone got put on lockdown. Dibney discovered something else, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't quite remember what that is.
I remember that it was in the captain's cabin. I managed to get into his cabin and I read his diary.
Okay, then that was actually your info. I thought, okay, yes, that was your info that the captain is the one that is worried about the crossing of this gap. Carl is the one that knows that the ship is a bay liner, not an ocean liner, and that worries Carl, though it's reinforced. Your info was the one that the captain is actually a little worried about this because I don't know if it was said then, but I'll say now just to like start the story and such, that as well, that was a reinforced bay liner, though they've reinforced this one more. And I think we have resettled ourselves as we have left Puerto Rico a number of hours ago. Dibney has come out of his crate in the cargo bay, come from hiding. Everyone brings their not ill-begotten goods, their begotten goods back on deck. Even Carl got to enjoy himself quite a bit in the actual landing area port of Puerto Rico. And but for now, you guys are back up out on the ocean. What is our like general focus as things, you know, we're back up out on the ocean, the cruise begins back up. Where do we sort of arrange ourselves? What activities do we get up to? Feel free, if I haven't mentioned an activity, to create an activity on the boat. I do, like, that's absolutely fair and fine. This boat
What
will have more
what time is
activities
it on
than
the boat
two.
currently?
I will say the boat left port at like 9 a.m. So it's like morning. We're probably
Early
at
morning,
like
okay.
we're probably at like 11 right now when I'm figuring out where we're at.
I think Samson is at the bar restaurant, the fancy bar restaurant that he visited in episode 1.
Under decks.
And he is he's getting ready to make his way to a table, but he's going to order very loudly a sparkling mimosa and an eggs double Benedict with extra creesh.
Do you You're walking from the bar to a table. Are you just saying that out loud, or do you get to a table and tell a server that?
No, I'm saying it out loud. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I can't wait to order that eggs double Benedict with extra creesh. That's gonna be delicious.
Give me a luck check, Samson. See if their
Sure.
fucking A-game server is working today.
I got an 18.
You sit down and you have the rest of whatever drink you ordered at the bar. Probably another sparkling mimosa, I would imagine. Yep. Yep. The bartender also rolled his eyes when you said that, but gave
With the
you a
finest
mimosa.
sparkles.
Yep, gave you a mimosa, definitely. Is Samson well versed in his alcohols, or does he just order well and then drink it?
I think Samson knows what alcohols would be impressive to hear ordered.
Okay. Yep. This is a sparkling mimosa you are handed, and
Yep.
you enjoy it. It is good. It has orange juice and sparkling wine. That's for
Perfect.
sure. It isn't but a few minutes as you take the last sip, actually, of your first sparkling mimosa that a well-dressed young server comes by. Her like white button-down shirt, perfectly ironed, very clean, crisp apron. She slides in a sparkling mimosa and takes off the old one, and she bends down and quietly says that your eggs double Benedict. You get the sense she's forcing herself to say. And what else did you fucking order?
Extra creesh.
Extra creesh. She stops herself and asks, "Would you like the extra creesh on the side?"
Well, of course I'd like the extra creesh on the side. Where else would you put it?
Wait,
She
what's
walks away.
creesh?
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, I
She's
thought this
dealt
was
with-
some fancy food I've never heard of.
No, she's dealt with people like Samson before. She's just gonna give him extra creme fraiche on the side, but it is gonna happen. Or some creme fraiche on the side, because that's the closest she's got. But asking a guest like Samson is, I think, a no-go for her, because that explanation would be worse than the ask itself. Samson, now that we have begun this cruise, right? Like, leaving the Puerto Rico Bay, even though it's early morning, this restaurant is filling up pretty quickly with mostly wealthy folks, a few, families also that are coming in to grab brunch. So this area is filling up, and the tables around you are beginning to populate.
I'm looking to eavesdrop.
Perfect. Who else has a thing that they are interested in doing around 11 a.m. as we leave Puerto Rico?
I think Beryl is gonna she just wants to explore. I mean, she's never been on a cruise liner by herself before. To just like fully enjoy the whole boat. I think she just wants to look around. She's never seen so much ocean and by herself. So, when she's with her parents, she usually just does what they're doing. It's always monitored, making sure she's, good representation of the family, doing wholesome family things, blah, blah, blah. So I think she just wants to just see everything that her parents would not enjoy. And her parents usually just played like shuffleboard, euchre, badminton, but she just wants to look around and see all these things.
Sure. Give me, let's see, investigation check, just of the general boat as you walk around to find things you don't normally come across.
Yeah, so I rolled a 4. Again, Beryl's not always the brightest.
No.
She's never been,
Beryl,
so she got lost.
I think, Beryl, you find yourself in yeah, I mean, Beryl's also pretty taken care of throughout her life. So Beryl, you find
Very
yourself
sheltered.
in a room next to the laundry room where all of the clothes are being hung and folded, and you're certain of it. You found yourself in the cruise store where you can buy clothes, though most of the clothes are well, no, you know what? Because this is the laundry room for the cruise, there's definitely a mix of workman's clothes and overalls and various uniforms you've seen on the boat. But there's also
Cutting
travel
edge
clothes. There's
store.
suits, there's shirts, there's pants and skirts of all kinds and shapes, kids' clothes, things like that. They all seem sectioned together in some fashion that you can't quite understand. Um, yeah, yeah. Lots of options. What kind of clothes is Beryl interested in picking up here in this obvious store?
Yeah, Beryl, I think, is she's on vacation, so she wants to try new things. She wants to be adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna see if she can find a workman's uh a jumpsuit that maybe she could turn into something stylish, but she's trying to find one in her size.
Okay. You definitely find a good actual rack. This rack seems to be of all like these sort of workman jumpsuits. They're orange and black as well as like a blue jean style.
Oh, she definitely wants the blue one.
Perfect.
Orange is not
Perfect.
her color.
I'll say, Beryl, there's no price tags.
That's so weird.
Give me an insight check.
Nice shops never have price tags.
No, of
So
course
you know
not.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you have to
no.
ask the price, you can't afford it.
You rolled an 11.
Beryl, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it, and I'll say you definitely can't afford it. There are people, though, on the other side of the room in front of, like, folding tables that maybe Beryl doesn't recognize, but we know they're folding tables that they're folding, like, all these various clothes that you can either ask or pay, depending on how Beryl feels.
Beryl, I guess there's no mirror. It's so weird. There's no mirrors in this store. What is with that? Because she wants to look. I want to look at I want to hold it up to my frame, but it's so weird. There's no mirrors.
What is with that?
And there's no
What is-
changing rooms. Why aren't there any changing rooms in here? I want to try it on.
Give me a perception check, Beryl. Let's see what we can find in terms of changing rooms and...
I rolled a
Manager.
17.
Oh, definitely, Beryl. There's some side rooms. You can see an open door actually on the side of the room. It looks like all of their changing rooms may also be slight storage rooms, but there's more than enough space to change in that storage room.
Is there a room? Is there a mirror in there?
There is. You can see through the open door above a sink. It's like a grimy, like above like a wash sink mirror in a broom closet kind of situation. That's exactly what this situation is.
I don't know about this. This might be too adventurous for Beryl.
I think the thing that shows you it's definitely a changing room, Beryl, is that there's a jacket over the back of the chair that sits in there.
Is it cute? Maybe I want it.
No, I mean oh my god, it's a worn like it's like a worn
Vintage.
sort of like Carhartt jacket style. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so adventurous. Beryl's gonna slip it on.
Maybe I want it.
Damn it, Beryl! It fits. It fits pretty well,
My
actually. I'm not
gosh.
even gonna make
Forget
you roll
about
for
the
that. I
jumpsuit.
know it fits.
Beryl has to have it. Oh yeah. she's just patting it down and like trying it on and like pressing it to her frame. Is like, does anything like, do I feel anything underneath the pockets?
I don't know what to do with you, Beryl. Give me an investigation check of this situation and jacket.
That's a 11.
This jacket is a bit too big for your frame, but it's like wearing a large when you're a medium, you know what I mean? It's like that comfortable big, right?
Comfortable baggy.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And in a Carhartt style jacket, that's even better. You feel warm, you feel cozy.
Love that. Oh my goodness.
You also find that this jacket comes with a free wallet.
What? Oh my goodness, what color is it? Does it go with the jacket?
What kind of identification do people carry in the 1920s?
That's true. What kind of wallet do they even have wallets?
Billfold?
Billfold.
billfold.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It comes with a billfold. I apologize. No wallet. Why would he have an ID card? No.
That'll
He has
be
a
25
billfold.
cents.
This jacket
50
comes
cents
with
now?
a free billfold filled with 14 American dollars. Hard-earned American monies.
How weird that there's money in it. That this is well, I mean, all amenities. Daddy did say that all amenities were paid at this trip, so maybe it just comes. Money
The
just comes in the
money's
wallet.
free.
Yeah, maybe it's just so nice that the wallets come with money inside.
Beryl, I will give you one more opportunity. This
Beryl,
time though, this is gonna be an insight check.
Okay.
DC 10, but at disadvantage because this feels really Beryl's alley to me.
Oh no, I rolled a 6.
That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, no, that's exactly the case, Beryl.
Oh my gosh.
It would
that's
only
so
make
nice.
sense to you that they give you a billfold and show you that this holds the money. You know you
It
can add
does
your
so
money to this
well.
billfold for sure. You imagine though
Okay.
with that check that this jacket, while worn, is more expensive. It seems vintage in some way, more expensive than the whatever workman's overalls you picked up, which seemed kind of new.
Mm-hmm. All right. Beryl's gonna drape the jacket over her arm.
Mhm.
Put the billfold back inside. She doesn't want to separate the set.
Sure, it's a set.
And walks back out. Are the she's looking around. Are there so the people are folding things? Do they
Yeah, there's
look like? Do I have their have they noticed me wandering around? This very clearly not not an
Let's see.
employee.
No, they are hard pressed on their work folding.
Also, you're wearing an employee jacket, so
and you have a jacket they may recognize draped over their arm, your arm.
Okay, well, I don't want to bother them. So I'm going to leave some money on the desk or like in that room where like in the changing room. And they'll know they'll know what that means.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's how. I mean, this is a store. If
Yeah,
there's
I'll
money
leave
in the
them-
place of
it's fine,
objects, they
yeah.
have to know you bought that object.
I'll leave a
and if-
note. I won't leave a note. I'll just leave some money. But how much should I? Oh, this jacket is just so vintage, and with the billfold, it's gotta be. Oh, I don't know, maybe $300. I'll leave. That seems fair. That seems fair. I'll leave that. And I'm on my way with my jacket. This is great. Beryl's having a great day.
Beryl, you slip out unaccosted with this vintage Carhartt style jacket. You're down $300, but you're up an incredible experience. You have purchased
And
for the
$300
first
is like
time.
nothing to Beryl.
No. This is the excess money you've earned.
yeah, $300 is just one game of badminton, apparently.
Yeah, like
It's
one, like
true.
easy.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the reason we have so much money is I don't know if I've mentioned it, but Daddy invented the Band-Aid. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of new, but it's really providing a lot of money for the family.
Sure.
And that's where musicians go and help out with what?
Well, it's actually a piece. It's like an adhesive bandage for small wounds.
Not interested.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just kept on getting all these little cuts on my hands from the topiary, but I didn't want to stop working. And Daddy was like, "Oh, it's the only way my little princess could keep her up her topiary." And
So
so
good.
he got with his friends, and made a special bandage, and here we are.
So good. Oh my god. All right, as Beryl leaves the crew washroom, what are the other two up to? Fucking amazing. We have two thieves, apparently.
I'm adding it to my inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say when I take everything from you guys, that Carhartt jacket is yours. You have earned that.
Excellent. Good.
Does that
Good.
mean
I
you
was
get to
worried.
keep the $3,000.
Absolutely. You know what? Sure, you get the 3,000 American dollars.
Hell
No
yeah,
doubt.
alright. Time to. If I
What
buy
col-
things with it, can I keep those? Too?
I actually had that thought to myself. I was like, I can't believe I just gave him $3,000, and then as I like walked down the street, I was like, wait, yeah, I can. That's fucking fine. What are we gonna play D&D? You're gonna hand someone $10? Like, okay.
I'll try.
I know. I was
Right.
like laughing to myself. So good. I love this so far. It's so incredible.
Okay. So I know that the captain is worried, but I don't really like. I'm trying to figure out where I would go for clues first of all. But perhaps more pressing than that. All I have are engineer clothes. And so if I go anywhere that's not the engineer's quarters, I'm going to get discovered.
That's true. You do not have your suit anymore.
So, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to steal clothes. But then I thought to myself, wait, I have $3,000.
You can buy clothes just like Beryl has.
Yeah, it's really great stores here.
You
with
could go
such
to the
convenient
ship
changing
store.
rooms.
It's true. I could actually do this backwards, and I could like go to buy things and be like, wait, I could just steal it from the laundry.
Well, I'll say that. Roll me a luck check. Let's see if there's an actual ship store where you could like purchase. I imagine. Well, yeah. Let's see what there is in the ship store.
I don't know like what a cruise ship. I know now they're like floating malls, but
Sure. Yeah.
that's a 2.
That's a 2.
Yeah.
Dibney. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna say you
Dibney's
find
have it-
yourself in the laundry. No. Dibney, you brought your suitcase on board. You did say you brought your suitcase on board. You were allowed to, so you got to have some other clothes. What's in your suitcase, Dibney, if not clothes?
Where is Dibney gonna change?
In my crate.
Oh.
There's probably workmen's quarters that I would say, would be allowed to sleep in.
Yeah, but that like risks having to do work and not find out what the news is.
You've been forced into work almost the whole cruise so far. Awesome.
I want no more of it.
And I'm done with it.
Dibney's tired, okay? He ate so much shrimp.
I'll say with that check, Dibney, that there is no shop on the ship, but you do know where the laundry room is after all of your stuff. So you do know that you could steal like some clothes from there. And then also I think it's left up into the air as to what is actually in your suitcase, if not clothes. But you don't have to answer that question if it's something weird.
It's gonna
I'm
be
trying to
something
think, because
weird.
I've already said that it's not clothes. So now I'm trying to think what it could be.
Samson's suitcase also doesn't have clothes in it, but I know exactly what it is. And that's for you to find out.
Okay, that's for a
Beryl
later
has
thing.
many suitcases.
All clothes?
It's a varied degree, but yeah, there's 2 that are just clothes.
Sure.
2 of
sure,
6.
Sure.
I think his suitcase is full of like canned meat.
Ugh.
He's
He's ready to camp out in that crate.
Oh, because he expects to be camping out in crates. The crate is like his first choice because he's used to being in the walls and in the crates.
Yeah, this is my plan.
Dibney's a little
Oh
rat man.
no. He's
Rat
a shrimp man.
I'm
Little
after the
crustacean
news.
at his finest. God damn, I love him. Okay, so not
Okay,
clothes, but you know where the laundry room is to steal clothes. And I think that you're
Stealth
allowed
check,
enough
then.
around. Yeah, give me a stealth check to sneak in and steal a good outfit for yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Apparently, they're
accosted.
not very noticeable. They don't really notice a lot
They're
of
not very
stuff,
perceptive,
so.
even when you just walk in and steal shit.
Even when you leave the captain's quarters reeking of shrimp.
I'll say the boat kind of smells of shrimp. So on the boat, you're okay hidden.
Okay, what is that?
I also wanted you to give me one more luck check, and one that I'll reveal as we continue on.
Okay, my stealth was an 11.
Okay.
And I'm gonna retire that dice for a minute.
To dice jail.
Well, my luck check is a 6.
Oh. Okay, I'll hold on to that luck check. But the stealth check is enough. You aren't actually that stealthy at doing it, but they have a lot of work to do. You come in, I think that they do notice you. They do like nod to you, but they see the workman. They more nod to the like workman's uniform, right? They see that you're coming in, they imagine that you're here to pick up your clothes, and they go back to their work.
Yes. Yeah, gonna go about my
What kind of outfit? I'd say you have basically free run of this area. What kind of outfit do you pick up? This is the full ship's like laundry room for guests and work people, so you can, I would say that, give me a high enough perception check and you can get basically whatever you want.
Okay. Let's go with like a tux and tails.
Okay. Whoa, okay. Okay.
I can either mingle or maybe I could be like a bartender or something. This looks
Sure.
like a fancy boat.
Sure.
Where the wait staff wear evening dress.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that Samson has definitely seen a lot of that. The well-dressed server that has just served him probably got her outfit clean pressed from this very room. And you're able to find one of those. I don't think that even requires a perception check because that was already kind of set up. So you're able to snag a nice clean pressed kind of workman's tuxedo. You know that you could get through like social, encounters as wearing a tuxedo. I think if anyone looked close enough, they might see it's like a waiter's tux, right? But upon first inspection, you're wearing a tux.
And now it is time to mingle.
Mingle.
I think so.
Yeah, mingle.
I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on the promenade, and strut my stuff.
Yeah, the promenade is nice because it's adjacent to the pool, but the pool where that is where like the younger folks are hanging out, families and their kids enjoying the slide and the diving board. There is an area where like wealthy people are in like kind of like linen suit style like hangouts, right? Like sundresses and parasols and like a pipe or 10 and things like that. And you stroll into this sort of almost like cocktail gathering on the boat's deck. Carl, what are you up to?
Well, having successfully launched the ship out of harbor and he's done his assignments for the day, he has lunch with the captain to review safety measures. So he's going to do his walk of the lower decks and work his way up to the captain's dining area.
Okay. Give me investigation checks for this as you go about your walks.
I believe he just walked straight into the wall because that's a natural one.
I mean, everything perfect. You were a little worried actually before you hit Puerto Rico, but upon these inspections, like it more sits in stone with you that this is good. This is a good, comfortable, reinforced ship. You're feeling more comfortable as the hours go on and the smoothness continues. I think you feel more secure the fact that that was just coral that you guys bumped into. You were a little worried, but now you're able to shake that free and be like, no, it's just like that was just me making too much of it, right? So this is a pretty smooth like go over of the ship. Everything seems to be working condition, well reinforced, tightly locked down as it needs to be where it should be. And you make your way to the captain's quarters at the top. And there are some folks exiting actually the quarters as you approach. They nod to you, having seen you come up to lunch before. You imagine they are leaving because it is lunchtime, the time for the captain and the engineer captain's meeting.
Indeed.
And you enter. It's just you and the captain, and then there's a few other people, I guess, working at their stations. This is not an entirely private meeting, but it is a little bit more secluded off to the side of the captain's quarters.
All right. I will sit down with my usual club sandwich and hot coffee, and we will go over the required checklists, see if he has any feedback for me. I'll let him know everything looks to be in ship shape.
Nice. Um. Hmm. Give me a charisma saving throw. Let's see how tight you are with the captain.
That's a 12.
Okay. The captain, he nods. He listens. He's very a part of these conversations. He's very attentive when you're talking about the security measures of the ship and the things that are going on, especially with the reinforcements in the lower decks. Never overpressing, but very attentive and definitely listening to everything you're saying. Today, you notice that he is asking quite a few extra questions about those specific lower deck reinforcements. He is really, really making sure that you have checked their
Like, is he asking
security.
enough questions that I should be concerned?
I think he's asking enough questions that you are realizing that he's asking a bunch of questions, like more questions
Okay.
about that area than the rest of the ship with that 12. And I guess that 12 is more leading to that I think he does feel a little bit more comfortable with you. 12 is above above the sort of average. He I think after I think you might make a small note that he's, really focused in on those lower deck reinforcements, and he does take the moment to stop and like really sort of make eye contact with you and say like, I think he stops and it's like a little quiet. You hear the rocking of the ship, and he says, "It's very rare that our lives are in someone else's hands besides my own as the captain of the ship. Before we get out there," and he motions out in front of the boat, a little bit more silence. "Are you certain that we can make it over this gap?"
Uh, well, I felt pretty confident this morning, but I certainly
Hmm.
does not hurt to triple check.
I He seems very relieved when you say that. He says, I would actually greatly appreciate that if you wouldn't mind giving the boat, a twice over. If you have anyone that puts in the right work, if you could pull them aside and maybe even have an extra set of eyes. Just everything wants to be perfect. Bermuda, he seems to shake something off. Right as he says that, he says the Bermuda company just wants to make sure that this maiden voyage goes just perfectly according to plan.
And I would just ask him as we wrap that. We're not expecting any bad weather or currents or anything, are we?
Give me another charisma saving throw. I don't really quite know how to do like. I feel like charisma saving throw is the right vibe here.
Ooh, that one's a 14.
He says, there are rough currents between here and Bermuda, but I believe our boat should be up to handle them. There have been a few stories about ships smaller or less sturdy than ours capsizing in those waves, and I don't believe that our ship would be among them. Our ship is up to the highest quality that we can imagine, I've been assured, and I do trust them. This time, oh man, I stopped myself and thought about it too long, but he says, this time will be different. But I don't think that like, that's an important sentence, but I don't think that registers with Carl, that he says this time will be different, right? Obviously, it registers with us. We know some shit's going down.
Yeah.
But I think, Carl, you're like, this time will be different probably than those other ships that crashed that he has just mentioned, right?
Yeah. Uh, and I'm trying to determine if I'm comfortable enough with this captain yet to to share with him my observation that this is a well reinforced bay liner versus ocean liner. So I'm trying to figure out how to broach that with the captain of the ship. I realize I'm the chief engineer, so maybe I'm just going to do that as he's talking about safety concerns and talking about this seems to be a well reinforced bay liner, captain, but we are not an ocean liner vessel.
Aye, certainly. That's hence all the reinforcements, he says, and chuckles a bit. I've been assured that these reinforcements are well above par of what an ocean liner would require to cross the gap of such 10, 15 miles as we have to cross here.
All right. I will nod at that point. I'm still contemplating, but I'm not going to let the captain know that I'm still contemplating that. So I I would just engage in idle chit chat till we finish lunch and our other, standard procedures, and then I'm heading back down to those particular areas. I'm going to grab a couple of my trusted crewmen, and we're going to go over it with a fine tooth comb.
Okay, give me an investigation check or survival if either one is more important to your character, because I think that they both would fit for this with advantage because you have your trusted crew going with you over this situation.
All right. Ooh, survival is good, and that would be a 14.
There are a few problem areas, but only minor problem areas. The problems are that there are like loose bolts on bulkheads that the few of you are able to find and like locate and just tighten the fuck out of as much as you should without over tightening. You guys know what that should be, and I don't, but you guys do the mechanics. And fuck, hold on. Okay, I think it's reconnected. Okay, and you guys do find like something that hardcore rattling may have knocked loose or something along those lines that you're just like, in the worst of situations, this could have been one problem, but you find that and secure it. And I think it brings a sense of like security that you found a few like making it from 98 to 99% sure positive kind of situation, right? But like there's still this feeling that there's no certainty that will give you that you are not on an ocean liner, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
And as this cruise goes on over the course of the next few days, things are smooth. You guys are enjoying yourselves. Beryl is seen around the boat in her beautiful vintage and slightly scuffed Carhartt jacket. There have been announcements about the shrimp being what do they call it? Not infected, but like contaminated, contaminated and spoiled,
Tainted.
and that there will be no shrimp for the remainder of the cruise. And that if they can find who's responsible for putting their clothes into the shrimp bin in the kitchen, that there will be some problems. But you guys you would know that there's no fucking way. How would they figure that out? Dibney, is your name printed in your jacket anywhere? Is it like property of Dibney Smoot on the inside collar?
Dibney, did you leave your billfold in your suit?
Not the billfold.
Did you leave your smoot in your suit?
I don't know if that occurred to me.
You were in a shrimpy panic.
I was in a shrimpy panic. We're gonna make a luck roll. No, I didn't. There's probably something identifying in that jacket. It's a good thing I've got a few other names.
You know what it doesn't say. What was your check to know what it does say?
It's a 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does say on the inside of like the inner pocket, if you like are wearing it and you peel it open and look down, it says property at Dibney Smoot. If found, please call, and then a phone number.
Wait, do they have? Does he have phone numbers in this?
It's a house phone.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it's probably a work phone. Like I imagine there's
Does he
like
have
a
an
work phone and
office?
an operator. He's a part of a journalism company, right?
Yeah.
Home phones. When did people get home phones?
We're gonna be factual here on this fantasy.
Well,
I'm
there's
so
1920s
interested.
slang for a telephone called a blower, so I'm sure they had telephone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have
Okay.
slang for something you don't have yet.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You had a home phone. Would this be to your home phone
Call
or
them
your
on the
work phone?
blower.
Probably my work phone.
Okay. Just not that that matters or that they have found that piece of info yet.
Actually, it's probably my dry cleaner's number.
Oh damn. Okay. That's even funnier. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see. We'll see what that leads to. This trek has been smooth. Dibney has been seen coercing with a lot of the sort of more wealthy folks of the group. Dibney, there have been a number of cocktailing events like the one you found yourself in and, accepted into with this beautiful tuxedo. I imagine that one of them maybe you've worked as a worker, one of them you've been more on the floor going around and finding info. Well, I guess I don't want to put that into into you. How do you approach going off of this sort of cocktailing event into the next few days to find info?
I think for the moment we're just eavesdropping. We're gonna
Okay.
sort of get a hold of a tray and stand out of the eye line of some wealthy people and listen to what they have to say. See if anyone knows more than they're saying.
Yeah. Give me a investigation check for your time in these cocktailing parties.
18.
18. There are a few wealthy folks who you're certain have been assured through other various channels. They've had personal mechanics come onto the ship. I think you do hear through some channels that the Bermuda company has in fact had other ships that have gone out. This is not the company's maiden voyage, while they are sort of billing it that way. The company was under a different name right before this, and they sent out a cruise ship, and that cruise ship did capsize in between Puerto Rico and Bermuda, though it was an unreinforced bayliner, and they have since reinforced it, and that is the sort of that is what you are sort of assured of in your eavesdropping, is that the ship is different. It's built different.
You also overhear a conversation that Samson Billfold is having with a wealthy guest. Samson saying, "Yes, absolutely, yes. I've got the only untainted shrimps in the whole ship. That's right.
What?
No, of course, I'll part with them for a reasonable price. Absolutely. I agree with you. I can't imagine a cruise without any shrimp. Can you?
No, I was assured there would be shrimp the whole time I was on this cruise.
You've always got to prepare for tragedy. That's what I always say.
I would love some of your assured shrimp.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
I like my shrimp to be assured for sure.
Swing by my room.
How would this man know to have backup shrimp if he wasn't somehow involved?
He must be the shrimp dealer.
The shrimp dealer.
Oh, fuck. I was going to run your stuff, Samson, off of food-based stuff, which I guess is how you could be here if you found yourself at this cocktailing event. Interesting. So talk to me about how you have come from this eavesdropping on families and wealthy folks at brunch to this cocktail party. It seems kind of along the same vibe, right? You're still eavesdropping. You're still
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
spying
I
this
think
way.
what I imagine is sort of one thing has led to another. I've befriended a sort of gullible type. I wasn't able to catch Beryl wherever Beryl's been doing, so that mark sort of got away for the time being. So I just found somebody at brunch who, they heard what I was ordering. They wanted one. They wanted to know what Creesh was. And so, we sparked up a conversation from there. I know about a lot of things that they didn't know about.
What's Creesh?
And now they know that I've got shrimp.
What do you think Creesh is?
Oh, it's creme fraiche. That's what I was brought. That's what I asked for. It's just a fun way of saying creme fraiche.
Perfect. Awesome. The server is killing it. She loves it. I think this is a good moment. Yeah, we are about halfway through this Puerto Rico to Bermuda cruise. There is several almost ball-style cocktailing events going on this evening. There's one on the athletic deck that they have sort of repurposed that whole deck into a more mid-income ball, obviously, as you guys pass by and have gotten your invitations or other ins to this sort of higher wealth, higher upper crust, I'll say, ball. It makes sense that most of us have made our way here. Dibney Smoot having cocktailed his way up through the upper deck sort of cocktailing hour into this ball. Samson Billfold the same way. Beryl, fuck, you have an in. The invitation was slipped under your door, no doubt. How are you rocking into this ball, Beryl? I imagine you're going to the ball. You don't have to. I don't want to force you to a ball.
No, Beryl is going to this
But you're
ball.
invited, of course.
She spent all day picking out her outfit.
From her full closet, right?
yeah, she's got a full walk-in. What are you talking about?
You're not wearing the outfit you got at the store?
No. Beryl has, I don't know how many days it's been since I bought my new jacket.
Two days.
It's been 2 days. See, I've definitely been wearing it a lot, but I'm setting it aside because this is kind of mommy and daddy raised me well. I know how to dress for an event. I'm here and I have a glass of champagne, which feels very adult and exciting. And I am just taking in all of the beautiful things, the ice swans, the lovely fountains that are inside the ballroom. Like it's so extravagant. Kind of similar to my 15th birthday party, but I'm still, I love my 15th birthday party, so I'm enjoying it. I'm just kind of, I'm looking for maybe some snackies, but really Beryl is just all about taking everything in.
Yeah.
So she's if there's a one that maybe has a window with like a view of the ocean, I'm like kind of taking my gaze between the ocean view and the view of this ballroom.
Okay, Beryl, give me a perception check for your time at this ball. And after I have that, I'll move on.
That's a 14.
Okay. You're peering out over the ball. You're doing a little bit of casual conversing, but mostly people watching as they go throughout their cocktailing and such. I'll say you definitely spot a very suave Dibney Smoot cocktailing and conversing with folks. You see Samson Billfold, your partner from a number of days ago on the badminton court, selling shrimp to randos on the dance floor. I don't know how else. Bunch of shrimp men in our story so far. Shrimpermen, if you will. Carl, what are you doing on this evening? Have you found your way to this event, or are you elsewhere on the boat?
No, the captain, very tongue-in-cheek, really liked the way I handled the shrimp incident the first day. So he asked me if, as a senior officer, if I would attend the athletics level ball just to make sure everything stays under control.
Okay, how are you attending this ball? Are you attending like in some sort of more...
Oh, I'm in my, dress whites, my engineer dress whites, as it were.
What does an engineer dress white look like? I'm just
It's just
curious.
like a white jacket with gold buttons and white pants and black patent leather shoes. So
Is this something supplied by the boat for when you have events?
this is supplied by the boat company for formal affairs or the evenings when I sit at the captain's table in the fine dining room. They've supplied me
Fantastic.
a lovely white dress suit.
Honestly, at this athletic, I don't want to call it an athletic event because it's not. At this ball on the athletic level, you are at what is the captain's table. The captain is not here, but you have a spot reserved at the captain's table with a few other like his his, what do you call them? His like right hand, his lieutenant. There's a few other like higher level ups here, charges of various departments on this boat, but the sort of captain and the very highest upper you are aware are on in the lower level, but you, I'll say, with that, like, you and your private conversations with the captain and all of that, you probably have what is next to the captain's seat, on the other side, I guess, from his lieutenant, at the captain's table where the seat is left empty for the captain, and you're able to watch over this. What is your approach to this event? Are you just like watching to make sure that there's no like troublemakers or trouble with the boat? Or are you enjoying yourself? How do you go about this?
Carl is much more of a hands-off kind of thing in these social situations. So there is some glad handing that's required, but for the most part, he will sit and observe, or if he gets up, he gets a drink and just kind of wanders the perimeter of the room and then moves back to his table. So,
Okay. Yeah.
if someone engages him in conversation, he, says a few short sentences and then moves on. So, but he's listening, he's observant, but he's not much of a social interactor.
Sure. Okay. I mean, a perception check from Carl. I got the 14 from not
Beryl.
Grace. But from Beryl. It seems like Samson and Dibney are like more charisma-ing their cocktailing events, if I'm not mistaken.
That's all I do, baby.
Okay.
And did you say perception?
Yes.
That's 15.
Okay. Unless you guys are doing something else at your cocktailing events, I'll take charisma saving throws from Samson and Dibney. It can be if you have a particular skill that you would prefer, like I don't know if
Persuasion,
deception,
please.
but
Brings me up to a 14.
You have actually persuaded folks to come to your room to get shrimp.
That's a 7.
Oh, Dibney.
Okay. Dibney, this is a disheartening evening for you because you've come into this definitely as an enjoyer of the party, but for some at this lower deck party, I think if you were at the upper deck event, that you would be like fitting right in, smooth, maybe even quite a bit more suave than some of your fellow partygoers. But at this party, many people keep ordering drinks from you. And at the first, it's fine. But like as the event goes on, that becomes annoying. Every now and then you're in a conversation and someone tries to just fucking hand you an empty glass. Like, sir, here you go. And that gets old because, if you're talking to a wealthy person, someone tries to hand you a glass as if you work there, that conversation gets
Samson
really
100% tries to hand you a glass at some point during the night.
That's the person that tries
Does
to
not even
fuck
look
me.
at you.
It's absolutely Samson that tries to
wow.
hand you the
Give me-
glass.
Oh,
Dibney takes the glasses without looking at the people handing them to him and just starts stacking them.
Okay. Yeah. It's the night isn't super smooth for you, but honestly, Samson, quite a number of people come by and exchange info with you to pick up your room number so that they can come by and buy shrimp. So like 4 different weird wealthy dudes want to come by and buy shrimp. Can't imagine a normal person wanting to come by a random room and buy that.
We're going to have an after party. We're going to have a shrimp after party in my room. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, I thought it was code.
One dude shows up like no shirt on, and
Oh,
he
no.
like hangs his head low and leaves.
So disappointing.
So only 3 dudes show up to your shrimp after party.
No,
I
that's
guess.
tomorrow night. No. Come back tomorrow. Tonight's the shrimp night.
Okay. Tomorrow night's he perks his head back in and he nods and he leaves. He'll be back for
real shrimp night.
the other shrimp night, whatever that means. Good lord. Okay. Dibney is out on the floor trying to maintain his sort of demeanor throughout all this. He's stacking glasses. Dibney, do you create I imagine you create some form of tower over the course of the night. Are you stacking them right on top of one another? Or are you creating a pyramid of glasses?
I think I'm making more stacks than modern art. I think I am making stacks of them, and then whenever there's a convenient break in the conversation, I'm setting those stacks down on a cocktail table somewhere.
Well, that's kind of you. I guess the workers would enjoy that. I don't know that goes super well for your conversations, but that really fits the charisma checks. I think that as those glass towers get bigger, those conversations kind of come to a less, what's the word? Friendly end. They're not super connected with you by the end, mostly because a lot of people are treating you like a worker and not like a wealthy person.
Do I hear whispers about a shady shrimp deal?
Of course you do. Of course
That's
you hear
all I-
whispers
that's
about
all-
a shady shrimp deal. I'll give you that.
I'm laser focused on this.
100%
shady
Dibney, you
shrimp
find
deal
out
now.
about the shady shrimp
The
deal.
shrimp trade ring? Yeah.
But
all
in
over
this
the-
moment, because of your charisma saving throw, I think there's a shady shrimp deal going on. There's a shrimp sale going on
Shrimp
tonight.
smuggling.
If you can find out where to buy the shrimp. But through all your conversations, there's a lot of tight-lipped folk about they're hiding their shrimp contact.
You gotta hide your shrimp contact. Those guys are hard to find.
You can't reveal your shrimp source.
Yeah, how do you want to find the shrimp source, Dibney? I want to follow this weird fucking trail for a second.
I mean, my daddy has a shrimp guy. Even Beryl knows that.
Beryl reaches into her purse and pulls out her own shrimp that she's brought with her. I
Yeah.
don't need your shrimp. I bring my shrimp.
It's a very shrimp forward podcast.
We have a problem. Yeah, we have a problem with dried meats in the other version, but the wet shrimp totally fine.
Say, say now, what's the skinny on the shellfish there?
The lady you're talking to, she turns her head. No, I did say it was all weird.
And
old,
says
old
the
rich
line
men.
that Samson told her to rehearse. Shrimp,
was?
what are you talking about? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, the weird dude next to you eating fucking shoveling his face full of shrimp from his pocket, not hiding it at all. Says, well, I got it from, and then his wife quickly nudges him in the ribs, and she says that line that Samson just said, which was shrimp. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of
I
shrimp
have
at all.
no
or
idea
something.
what that is.
I have no idea what that is. And he swallows a mouthful way too large of shrimp. You see it go down in his throat, and he says,
I want
me
to.
neither.
Put my hand in his pocket and pull out some shrimp.
Oh.
Give
There's
me
probably
a
not any. If you had that big of a mouthful,
give me
I
a
only gave
sleight
you
of
sample
hand
shrimp.
check. Gross. This situation has all been bad.
Way
Been
too
great
much
for me.
shrimp talk.
It's a 15 shrimp snatch.
15 shrimp snatch. You jet your hand into his pocket and he tries to grab your wrist before you pull it away to stop you, but you pull out just a wicked big
Unhand me,
handful of
sir.
shrimp. this seemingly sample size was quite a lot larger. Samson's has been giving his samples away to not large people, but like a large amount of people, and
Yeah, large people get large samples. Yep.
Sure. And I guess Samson mixed that up and gave this weird dude just so much shrimp. This guy's been enjoying his shrimp, and he's really excited, you can tell, to go get more shrimp later. But you pull out this handful of shrimp, and he looks fucking aghast, and his wife looks aghast as well, and they both look at you shocked and stunned and silent.
I shake my fistful of shrimp under his nose, and I say, "You should be ashamed of yourself."
Oh.
Unless you
He's
tell me
salivating.
where you got this.
His wife is salivating. You took the last of his shrimp in his pocket. They want more shrimp. Give me a
I'm gonna
persuasion.
eat these right in front of you.
Give me a persuasion check. For every shrimp you eat, you can have a +1, but you have to eat shrimp also.
I hope you're not allergic to shellfish, man.
If I am, it's too late.
I think we did make jokes about Dimney being allergic to shellfish, but that couldn't be true because he was covered in shrimp.
When he lived.
How many shellfish do I have? How much of a plus can I get to this roll?
You have fucking 4 pieces of fish in your hand.
Yeah, I'm
And
they
they
all
want-
but one.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. You get +3, I guess. Stupid.
Oh, I needed every one. That's a 4. So total of 8.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I have been very clear about how old these shrimp are. Give me a Constitution saving throw. You've just shoveled a bunch of shrimp down your mouth. Everyone else is NPCs. They'll get sick on their own time.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh man.
Okay, Jimmy, what's your constitution look like? Oh. Okay. Constitution save.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
we had to
An
roll
8?
Constitution.
and 8's a -1, right?
Yes. 9, 8, -1.
Okay. Then that is a 13.
Okay. Dimney not being constitute makes sense. Your stomach, as you swallow the shrimp, your stomach feels a little rumble. That little like, ugh, maybe not. But
Oh no.
it's not like a big deal. You're like, okay, it's fine. It's honestly, that's shrimp. That's shrimp for you, especially in the 1920s. You never know what you're getting. This shrimp may be even better than some other shrimp. It's still not, I'll say, to our
That's
standards,
just how
but
shrimp are.
that's how shrimp
Yeah.
do in your gut.
It's just how Dibney be.
That's how Dibney be. You across barrel, you're scanning this party. You see the suave Dibney Smoot fucking tug of warring with a handful of shrimp and an elderly couple that you
Wait,
may
but do I find
recognize.
out? Wait, do I find out where they got the shrimp?
Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah. With that, I think that as you're like slowly eating one by one, like trying to like intimidate almost, which we could have called that check as well, but I liked what we did. They by the time you go to put the last one in your mouth, he says, "Wait." She says, "No, don't tell him. We can't lose the contact." And he says, "No, I need that shrimp. You can find it in," and he gives you Samson Billfold's room number. Says, "But just don't tell him we sent you. Here's the password." And he gives you, what's the password, Samson?
Shrimp, give me now. Shrimp, tell me how.
Yep, they tell you that. Shrimp, give me now. Shrimp, tell me how.
Shrimp, give me now. Shrimp, tell me how.
You know, a lot of times I would like to be recording this in private because my partner is walking around just very quietly because she knows I'm recording, but then every now and then she'll like cackle when I say dumb shit like shrimp, give me now. Shrimp, tell me how. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, they tell you the shrimp password, and he snatches his last shrimp and he splits it right down the middle for him and his wife.
Wow,
Ew,
love truly is
ew.
alive.
Chivalry is not dead in the 1920s, I'll tell you, folks. Oh my god.
Disgusting.
And you guys, okay,
The
go
love,
about
not
your
the shrimp.
fucking party. Beryl, you watch this sort of tug of war over shrimp and the exchange of shrimp passwords. I think with your sort of run of the ship as the wealthiest wealthiest standing person on it, you have definitely overheard these conversations. You can do
And-
with that what you will. Oh yeah.
I just also think the staff might have noticed that, like, unaccompanied, and I don't know how much tipping is a thing in the 1920s, but Beryl doesn't really know the tip. So some tips are like obscenely big, and some are not, are just average. And so I think maybe more servers are starting to kind of try and make their way towards where Beryl is, because Beryl's had a few glasses of champagne.
And those
and
tips are
Beryl-
getting bigger.
And Beryl's having good time. She is sad that the swans are melting. But this is so far the best day she's had. Besides getting her coat, when she bought that coat, that was great.
Badminton was just any other day.
Badminton was any other day. Beryl crushes badminton. But this ball has been super fun. I've seen a lot of funny stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff, like a lot of new things I've never seen before. I've heard like a lot more swearing from this, like, because people don't really notice a teenager, I feel like. So I feel like I'm hearing a lot more like crass language that Beryl's not used to with the servers. And she's just really enjoying this kind of immersive moment of a world that she's never really had access to before.
Absolutely. And this party is happening in front of Beryl as she sits at the side of the room. And for a moment, she looks out of the port window, just sort of gleefully, like thinking to herself, this is exactly the kind of adventure that mommy and daddy like really wanted you to go on. You're so excited. You're getting to like see people in their natural environment. And you see out pretty far. It's nighttime now when this ball is occurring, but you definitely see out on the horizon an island, just like a landmass, which is not like out of the ordinary. I mean, you passed by tons of islands on the way to Puerto Rico. And I don't know. Give me a history check, Beryl. I'm gonna say with disadvantage because unless Beryl has had like a lot of like world history or geographic sort of lessons of any kind.
Well, no,
Geography.
because
Geography, thank you.
my flaw, GM. I haven't had any lessons.
Oh fuck yeah, no, you okay? Yep, then definitely with
Oh,
disadvantage.
that is a natural 20 though. I rolled 2 20s, so.
No, you did not.
Did I don't know how to prove it.
I am
Take a
blown
picture.
away. No, I don't. I'm just blown away. I 100% trust. I'm just like, fuck, the chances are so fucking low, especially on a
But I do also want to
One
see
point-
a picture of the two dice.
1.9?
20.
1.9 chance? 1.9% chance?
Yeah. I thought it was like 1.65, but either way, it's still like.
I just rolled the D20 twice, so
No, I believe. I'm here for it. That's fucking incredible. I love it. Love it. Incredible.
which is crazy especially because of Beryl's history.
Right.
She really
exactly.
shouldn't.
Exactly. This is.
Beryl's
I don't know.
in a dice game.
I don't know. This is not absolutely not for me to say. So I'll try to figure out how to. I think Beryl. I mean, you've had these lessons taught to you, right? You may not
That's
have
true.
read. Of course you haven't. You don't need to. You have teachers. You have people that have
That's
taught
true. They
you
just like talk to me. Yeah.
100%. And you know what I'll say with both of these natural 20s, which by the way, isn't that how you fucking crit in like 4E? Like you have to roll 2 natural 20s in a row to actually get crit?
Mm.
For those of you
I
that might
think
know
so,
older.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
that
don't
is
know that it's
wild.
fourth edition, but I do know that one of the editions does have like.
It's either 4 or 3-5. Like one of those
These
other
are
ones
some-
when you
Yeah. it may
These
have
are
been
good
3-5.
dice. These
That's
guys
crazy,
are not
yeah.
going in jail.
Yeah, you have to like roll. You have to roll when you roll a d20. That and you hit the 20, that says that you like start the crit, and after that you can still fucking miss, because I actually have missed after that and I'm mad about it. But then you roll
Dang.
again and you have to hit above their AC. But if you crit again or some dumb I don't remember the exact mechanic, but it's super hard. You have to crit twice to do crit damage, and you have just done that. And so of course you
Good job,
I think
Barrel.
you know the one where you focused the most was geography. If anything, you recognize in this moment for sure, it stops you in your glee. That island should not be there. The only islands were between.
Because I looked at the map a lot before we went because I was super excited. So I know
Yeah.
where all the dots are.
You studied many versions of this map because, you know, the cartography of the era is probably not spot on, and people have to know that. So you've studied many versions of many maps.
I don't know what the places are called, but I do know like that's not based on how far, like the route that I like to think that maybe that Maui and Daddy knew the route ahead of time. Because I feel like they're so wealthy that I'm sure
yeah.
they're rubbing elbows with the captain.
100%.
That they probably told me which way, so I've been like plotting it out weeks and weeks in advance.
I'm fucking blown away. Truly, I'm just like dumbfounded over here. Give me just one moment, because I'm pretty sure the thing I said is actually factually accurate as well. It is indeed. You are in this time, you know, you've been able to keep up with it along the way just based on the research and the lessons that your parents, like, you know, got for you before you went on this cruise, because you wanted to know every single island that you were passing. You wanted to know every single detail because you were so fascinated. Then you wanted to get out and you wanted to learn. You were so stoked. You took notes. You probably have many of your notebooks in one of your bags. One of your bags is actually entirely all of the notes from this, so you could prove it if you could get there right now, but you don't need to, because you know there is no island.
I mean,
in between.
I don't have notes because I can't. I mean, I guess I could have them and show them to somebody
no,
else.
that's fair. You sure? Okay, sure. You have all of the notes written for you, and like all of the study material given to you. You brought with you because you loved it, and you recognize all of this material, whether or not you are how you are. But you, with all of that, you know for a fact that in between Puerto Rico and Bermuda, especially 2 days out, there's no island. For 100% fact, there's nothing out here in between Puerto Rico and Bermuda. So you're stopped in that moment, like a little bit of weirdness creeps over you, right? Because that shouldn't be there, and you know in this moment. And through all your fun and your few glasses of champagne, I'll say you have the very first, I don't know when it would have started, I'm not going to worry about the research. You have the very first bottle service. Bottle service just got fucking invented for you. They're pouring you like high-priced bottles of champagne, just expecting these massive tips, to which some you give, and to which others you somehow, don't stiff, but you don't really tip them enough for sure for what they've given you. You don't know. To them, it's like a roulette game, but you're stopped in this moment. Maybe some champagne is trying to be poured for you, but you're looking out the window at this island off the, kind of out on the horizon that does not exist.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anybody I see that looks like they work here. Do I see anybody that?
While you're scanning the crowd, you see Samson lock eyes with you for a moment, and Samson waves and begins to slowly walk towards you.
Oh, I'm really looking now. I am looking super hard.
She doesn't make eye contact with you.
Including the
She's
waiter
like,
pouring you a drink right now?
there is a waiter trying to pour you champagne as you turn back.
And it's
Samson's walking over. Samson's walking over with several empty glasses, like,
Barrel!
Oh, hello. Mr. Billfold.
I'll be there in a minute.
All right.
I'm still far away.
I'm gonna turn to the waiter and say, doesn't that look weird to you? Does it look looks like the GM has walked away. But that's all right.
No, my partner was leaving. I was just saying goodbye. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Okay, sorry. What did you said? Does what look weird?
Oh, I asked the waiter if they thought the island looked weird.
The waiter looks out, kind of squints her eyes. She says, "No, I don't. It's really dark out there. I don't know what you're talking about. Would you care for some more of your bottle? You have like almost a full glass." She's like being really pushy.
I said no, no, thank you. I'm all right. Uh, that's good for now. But stay close.
She does. She takes a step back as Samson Billfold fills
Yes,
the
indeed.
space
Please stay
almost
close, and
instantly.
I would love a refill. Thank you so much. That looks delicious.
She looks down at you, Beryl, for confirmation.
Of course.
Samson looks
of
down
course.
at you, Beryl, for confirmation.
Beryl was raised to with manners, so even though she really doesn't want to, she says, "Yes, of course, of course. Please, please, sit down and have some champagne."
Oh, thank you
This
so much.
this
So what do you
is
think
the
about this party, Beryl?
Oh, it's lovely. It reminds me a lot about of my 15th birthday party. Actually, I think Daddy had the same ice carvers because the swans they just look so familiar.
Oh, those swans really are beautiful. Did I ever tell you about the time that I took 2 swans on in a fight?
No,
Well,
you
that's
didn't.
beside the point. Anyway, Beryl, I have a couple of patents that I was wondering if you would be interested in looking over. Something that maybe you or your family would be interested in investing in.
Um, I'm not really one for patents. That's kind of more Daddy's thing. I'm more of a, I could play with badminton if you want. I know a few topiary guys, but I'm not really into the investing because
I've actually I've got a tool that actually might help you with your topiary business. Actually, it's a little thing called double scissors. So
I
you've
find
heard
that very
you've
hard to
heard of
believe.
scissors, right? You know what
Yeah.
scissors are, of course. You're a learned
hmm
person. Now imagine a second pair of scissors on top of those scissors. Doesn't that sound like something?
Daddy already bought me the best stuff from Japan, so I think I'm actually super set on that.
Well, all right. Well, you let me know if you change your mind.
Double
It's a
scissors,
long,
yeah,
long ship ride.
yeah. Do you think that island looks weird?
Yeah, definitely. That's a super weird island. The weirdest I've ever seen.
Really? See,
Yeah, 100%.
I've studied the route, and it's just that shouldn't be there, and I think that's weird.
Yeah, it kind of looks like we're heading for it.
It does, doesn't it? Do you know if there's someone that we could ask?
And Samson just immediately like snaps his fingers, looks at the nearest member of staff, and says, "Hey, do you think that island looks weird? Miss Beryl here thinks that island looks weird."
I mean, the nearest server or the nearest person of the staff.
Is that
First,
same?
to clarify, is definitely the same woman. Definitely the same server. To clarify, definitely Samson, you spot the island for sure, for sure. You guys are not heading towards it, but it is like far off to your west as you're heading towards Bermuda.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. That island is clearly far off to our west.
That's okay. Maybe there's some tricks of the eyes and whatnot. But the server definitely declines again. She says, I don't see anything out there. Maybe your guy's eyesight is better than. I mean, of course it is. It's better than mine, of course. She fills up your glass, Samson, and Beryl.
Thank you.
She tops off yours.
Well, maybe we should ask. I don't know. Who else would know? Who else would know more about the ship's route? Is the captain? Do you know if the captain's attending this ball, this gala?
I will say the captain is definitely attending this gala. As you guys scan, you see the captain. The captain has struck up conversation with one Dibney Smoot because I want to pull him back in. And you see that conversation.
The captain.
Yeah,
well
yeah.
then,
All you've done is good things so far. So let's see how this goes.
Then Samson he offers out his arms sort of like in an escortly manner, and he says, "Well, shall we?"
We shall, and I'm slightly becoming charmed. I'm kind of falling for it a little bit.
Perfect.
And,
Okay.
and allow myself to get escorted over towards the captain.
Captain,
And-
Captain.
And as you guys wander over towards the captain, we scan back up to Carl enjoying himself. He's in conversation with a few of these, I don't know, lieutenants and whatnot, other quarter captains of the the boat. You guys are all enjoying a little bit of maybe there's like a card game that's been struck up here.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. There's some this party up here on the athletic deck has definitely gotten a little bit more rowdy. The music is louder. The live band that is playing up here is like really going hard. They've taken off their coats. They're like sweating up there, but they're like playing really hard. The dance floor is going crazy. Someone has actually taken to attempting to run some form of lights. They're like running around unplugging and plugging back in
I'm on the
lights. And it's wild in here.
That boat is a boatin'.
Yeah, and in your
Listen
corner,
to that boat.
Listen
And
to
in-
that boat.
listen to that boat.
Is that
boat.
Ludimous?
We hear this beautiful Ludimous track through the tinny sort of speakers being played, and the card game over here, I imagine some form of poker, is going pretty swimmingly. Let's see how it's going in your favor. Give me a luck check for this night. Are
boy.
you? And then also tell me how your approach is to betting. Are you like a betting man? Or are you just like betting to stay in the convo, or how is this going for you?
All in nat 20. Go for it. He's giving out money like crazy.
He's too much of a hard worker to throw away his money frivolously. So he's only going all in if his hand is of note.
Sure.
Let's see. That's a 13. I don't know
Okay.
if that's lucky or not, but it's a 13.
Yeah, I mean, you're up for the night. That's for sure. It's not the best night you've had, but this is not a night. This is not even poker night, right? Like most of these guys are probably at poker night. Most of these folks are probably there. But this is not that, right? You guys have just struck up a game, and it's tons of fun. You guys are having a blast. During this, though, you notice, Carl, that all of the lights flicker at once. Right? I mean, like on beat, no one else really notices, but you've been looking at a lot of this stuff. You've been focused on a lot of this stuff, and you are pulled from your game in a moment as the lights sort of all flicker at once. The party doesn't cease. The party doesn't even skip a beat, but you do definitely like track that should not have happened.
Yep. I'm going to tell them to deal me out. I'm going to take my winnings, and I'm headed for engineering.
You quickly get dealt out and cross the dance floor. A few people, I say like as you cross the dance floor, one of the engineers stops you, and he has a bottle in his hand of like rum and a couple shot glasses. He's like, Carl, you gotta take a shot with me. And he's like bumping into you. He's offering you a shot glass.
And I bark at him by his rank and title and tell him he needs to come with me.
Fuck. Yes, sir. He puts the bottle like woozily on the edge of a table, accidentally drops one of the shot glasses next to it, passes it to the ground and crashes, and he just like stumbles after you. He's a little more drunk than you would like, but you have a set of hands nonetheless. And the two of you rush or stumble through the ship and down to the decks. Give me a perception check along your way.
19.
19.
Which is a nice counterpose to my 1 from earlier.
The entirety of along this way, the seas are getting rougher.
Oh boy.
so very steadily, but like the boat rocks once along your way and you kind of hit the wall, and that hits you, and then it rocks again like way too soon, and you realize that yes, these seas are getting rougher as you rush down to the deck, to below decks. Those in the lower decks, the lower deck party though don't quite notice this because you guys are a little bit lower, you're hitting it a lot less, and you're enjoying yourselves. There's no real warning down here as Samson and Beryl cross the floor. But first, Dibney and the captain are talking. The captain says, are you going under a surname right now? Or like a pseudonym?
Yes, Vernon. Wait, no. Vester and Gates. Miami Police. I'm deep undercover.
Oh, I thought maybe
It's
someone
these
from
shrimpies, you know.
Shrimpies. No, we're not running any sort of
Shrimp
illegal
smuggling.
shrimping operation
It
here.
can happen. It can happen right under your nose.
Oh,
You
for
wouldn't
sure,
download
for sure.
a shrimp.
No, you wouldn't download a shrimp. You can absolutely check over our engineering and in the back of our ship to make sure that we're not running any sort of illegal shrimping operation. We got no nets, no cages, no whatever that. I don't even know what they're called because we're not shrimpers.
Oh, in this day and age, you don't need any.
I'm sorry?
You just need one guy selling shrimp out of his room.
To be a shrimping operation? But okay, well, why don't you take it easy for the night, Mr. Gates, Officer Gates? I promise you there's no shrimping going on. But we'll get to the bottom of it if there is, and I promise they'll be expelled from the boat post-haste when we hit Bermuda. We'll hold them in the brig till then. But fuck. Okay. I guess.
You're slowly setting up a situation where both Billfold and I are the shrimp men culprits.
I mean, as he's saying this, Samson and Beryl are wandering up to the conversation, hearing the captain say,
"What is the
"Officer."
captain's name?
Oh, this. Oh, yeah, this. Obviously, everyone knows. This is
The legendary.
you know, the legend. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's part of his name. The legendary Captain. Shit. The first thing that came to my head was
Bingle.
Philbold.
Captain
I
Shit.
can't think of a real person's name. I thought Bingle first.
Sorry, I am gonna go with Captain Philbold.
Captain Philbold? Shit.
It's
Sorry, Captain.
Schitt, of course.
Captain Philbold.
Captain
No,
Shit.
no, it's Captain Shit.
Captain Shit.
Captain
Hello.
Shit. Excuse us. Pardon us for interrupting you, bumping gums with the help here. But you know, my good friend and associate Beryl here had a question for you.
Why, of course. What can I help you with?
Hi again, Captain Shit.
Oh, of course, Miss
how's-
Beryl.
how's-
Welcome. Are you enjoying your room?
I am. I really am. And how is your wife, Angela Shit?
Oh, Miss Shit is incredible.
And how are the
she-
little shits?
Oh, those little shits. God damn it. That's so funny.
He is not holding it together.
Oh, those little shits are proven every day to be smarter and faster than their father before them.
Tibby has to leave.
I always thought that your youngest, Christina Shit, was the most beautiful shit of all. I thought. My mother and I always thought so.
I
Those are strong
appreciate
genes that you have, Captain Shit. All of your kids are just absolutely full of shit.
Yeah, yeah, right. They have really taken after me. What was your question, Beryl? Before we keep talking about my little shits.
Of course, Captain. Well, as you know, Daddy did tell me what the route was going to be because I was just so excited
Oh, sure.
to be here for my first ever cruise. And I was just wondering that island, I don't remember that on my maps. And I was just wondering if maybe we've changed course and Daddy didn't know when it happened last minute. And I'm pointing over my shoulder where you can see the island.
Yeah, the
Samson is
captain.
also pointing in unison with you.
The captain follows you over to the porthole and is looking out with you, squinting much like the waitress did. And Captain Shit says, I don't quite know what you're talking about. There's nothing out there. There's nothing in between Puerto Rico and Bermuda, our next destination. I'm sure you know that. He looks away. I mean, pretty quickly. He knows there's nothing out there. He squints, but he looks away quicker than an investigation would have, really relied on. You know what I mean?
Beryl looks up at Mr. Billfold to see what his reaction is because he said he saw it and she believed him.
He did. You definitely saw it. You can see it out there, both of you.
Samson is also squinting very much at the thing, and he's like, I, Captain, not to undermine your authority or anything, but do you maybe need some bifocals or anything like that? I've got a couple of samples back in my room if you need to try out some prescriptions.
You can't catch me, officer. I'm not gonna be pulled into a lens scam. We do not have shrimpermen on this boat, and I will prove it to you.
Or lens crafters.
Or lens crafters on this boat, and I need everyone to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Natural 1!
It's a 12.
It's a 4.
That's a 15.
All right. What did you get, Beryl?
12.
12. All right. As Samson says his funny joke about lens crafters, I think was the last thing he was saying. There is a massive, rock in the boat. Massive rock in the boat that everyone on this lower deck hits the ground. Massive. The only one of at least our players to remain standing is going to be Carl Knuckles. Everyone is going to take a point of damage from crashing into a table or the ground or another person or glass or something as you have fallen to the ground or against a wall. And everyone is startled. The lights flicker. Carl, you're down in the below decks at this point. You have caught yourself, and I'll say with that, caught your drunk coworker. There's a few coworkers down here who have been dislodged from their stations, but who are now more than awake and alert. If they were, just sort of dozing before. And the captain stops. He says, he looks pretty worried. He says, do not be alarmed, anyone, as everyone starts to panic around him. He says, we will be on top of this. Do not worry. It was just a larger wave. I will depart post haste for the captain's quarters and make sure that everything is in proper condition. You please enjoy the rest of your event and your party. And the musicians pick up their instruments, and there's that that weird clanging, that discordant noise as they reset, and they go back to playing sort of hesitantly, and people are kind of looking around, not looking so much in the party mood as the captain goes to exit.
That boat has been boated.
Let's see what what is your first order of business after this giant sort of wave was hit, or whatever has happened?
I'm going to check all the gauges while I have one of my my right-hand men signal the bridge to see if we need to pull all stop until we get this under control.
Of course. The gauges. Yeah. Give me an investigation check of these gauges that I for sure understand.
Oh dear. That's a whopping 5.
The problem isn't that I don't understand these gauges, is that that caused a lot of pressure, and a lot of these gauges are actually cracked and just not working. Some of them are working, but that will tell you that that was a heavy hit. That was
Okay.
a strike. I'll say what that tells you is that was a strike along the boat.
Okay.
And that gives you a little bit of worry. Yes.
Yeah, that I'm gonna change it from a request for all stop, and I'm going to have him notify the bridge that we are commencing all stop from the engine room.
He rushes over to the phone or whatever, the intercom system, and shouts up to the main deck for an all stop. And the boat, you hear the approval come back from not the captain. He's not in the brig yet, but or in the quarters yet, but from someone up there, maybe, third or fourth down, who was not attending the events. You hear a confirmation of all stop, and there are loud sort of hisses and expelling of pressures as the boat begins to come to a stop. Everyone else, you also feel this like shake of an immediate attempt to stop. While there are no brakes, it's a huge difference when the boat is no longer being propelled. This room is in a slight state of panic, actually. Worry and worried whispers are beginning to disseminate. What do the three of you do?
Beryl's gonna try and get to her room, I guess, because when in doubt, go home or as close as you can get to home in her logic.
A lot
so
of
Beryl-
these folks are beginning to move towards the door with seemingly the same idea in mind. How do you approach this?
Well, Beryl's quite small. She's always just very short, so she's gonna try and see if she can use her small stature to weave through the crowd and try and get to her room. She's not elbowing. She's not being, she's still classy with it. But she is trying to see if she can weave her way through because she's kind of tinier and can fit into gaps and spaces.
All right. Give me an athletics or an acrobatics check to do just that.
Okay. That is a 16.
Yeah, you're able to duck and weave through this crowd pretty easily. I would even say able to move quickly to get towards the door before a good portion of this crowd does make it there. As you move that way, what are the other two doing?
So Dibney's unconscious.
No,
No.
Dibney.
Dibney
You
has
do
one
not have
hit.
1 health point.
It is 2 plus con mod, and my con mod is -1.
Oh,
Dibney,
I took 1
in
point
that
of damage.
fall, I cannot believe you. Dibney in that fall literally fell and hit his head on a table, is unconscious. Beryl didn't notice because, of course, the biggest priority in this
Dibney's
moment is
about to
herself.
drown.
Damn, Dibney, I can't even hurt you. I was like, 1 point of damage will scare everyone. Yeah, it will. It'll scare you.
I think Samson, he holds out, he rights himself after his slight knock. He holds his head for a moment. He looks down. He sees the unconscious form of Dibney. And he holds his hands up to the air in front of everyone. He says, "Everyone, watch out. I'm going to save this waiter." And he picks up Dibney and puts him over the shoulder.
my gosh.
Oh
It begins heading
man.
with the crowd out of
Give
the room.
give me a persuasion check with advantage.
You got it.
Because that makes sense. People would want to get out of your way, probably.
19.
Yes,
Wow.
people
Man,
do
you've ever
part
picked up.
for you, and you're able to carry the unconscious body of Dibney
Does he
Smoot,
smell like shrimp?
who
No.
has definitely smells like
Which one
shrimp
of us?
again. Both of you smell like
right.
shrimp. The shrimp stink moves through the crowd and out the door as the crowd parts ways.
I think I signal for Beryl to follow me along as we get the crowd parted.
Okay, yeah, Beryl, I'll say, was a bit ahead of you, but you heard that there was like someone carrying an unconscious body through, like the whispers spread up, and you moved out of the way too, to be kind, of course. But as you pass, you see that it is Samson and carrying the unconscious body of Dibney Smoot, the shrimp man.
The shrimp man.
Come on, Beryl, we gotta get out of here. Is
I'm
your room on
going.
the top floor? My room's also on the top floor.
Of course, my room's on the top floor. Where else would it be?
Are there other rooms?
Yeah, I mean, isn't your room just like a little bit lower than mine?
No,
I
my
mean,
room's on the top floor too. Haven't you seen me walking to my room every night?
no, I guess I haven't. But I mean, all all rooms are on the top floor. What else is there in the boat?
Every evening before Samson actually retires to his own room several floors down, he does take one lap on the upper decks.
Oh my
Fucking
gosh.
A,
Just
oh
to
my
be
God.
seen.
Just to be seen. Of course he does. The exit for the the exit for these ballrooms is on the other side of the upper deck, the sort of plane facing deck, or the skyward facing deck, from the entrance to the wealthy sort of habitation area. So you guys exit that door and begin crossing past the pools and the cocktailing deck area towards that door. Carl, down here, actually what I'll say is that you're all driven for a start. You stumble, you catch yourselves, you catch Dibney Smoot before he takes any more damage, and literally dies if he takes another 1 point of damage, by the way.
Episode 2, the death of Dibney.
Blows up to smithereens, no saving him if he takes 1 point of damage, which I'm concerned on. Maybe some of the shrimp will give him the save of some kind.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, 1 point of health
My
is wild.
shrimp save.
Your shrimp save. You know what? Sorry, Dibney. I can't believe we have to do this, but I need a death saving throw. He's not unconscious. He's hit 0 health points. He's in death saving throws.
That's a 16.
Okay, that's a save.
Oh, nice.
Dibney's stirring a bit, but unconscious. I'll say lightly bleeding from a wound in his head, because he hit his head. There's just easy to assume how he would have gotten knocked out. But you're all, again, driven for a start as the boat starts back up, and we come back down to Carl Knuckles, and a shout comes back through, and I guess you guys would have to start the boat up.
Yep.
I think. Okay, so actually, you're not given for a start yet, but we scan down to the bottom, and an order actually comes through as you are beginning. You're stepping. The dude has stepped away from the intercom. An order comes back through. It skips on, and the captain is breathing heavily. And he says, "No. You boys need to begin turn the engines back on now. This is a command, an order."
Hey, you heard the man. Fire it up.
And the engineers begin working rather confusedly to get the boat rolling back again, which is going to take a little bit longer than it took to stop, I think, because it's a big ship. I need everyone to give me dexterity saving throws again, except for Dibney Smoot, who is unconscious.
All right.
I
Another
automatically
16.
fail.
You fail, Dibney.
Another 16 for Beryl.
Okay.
15 for
9.
Okay, 16, 15, 9, and then a failure. Dibney, give me a luck check. I can give you an opportunity to roll as a player to see what happens. How lucky is Dibney? Not so far, but maybe
Maybe things can change.
in his death throes.
14.
14. Okay. As Samson stumbles as this boat actually begins to start, you hear the engines click back in, and then there's another heavy thump this time, and all of you recognize it as a like thump against the boat. Especially being up here, what you see is that the seas are not actually that rocky. They are, I mean, they're deep ocean seas. There's no negating that, but they are not like, this is not stormy weather. This is clear skies. The seas are no more rocky than you may have seen them maybe already or earlier this day. But something has just struck the underside of the boat. And Samson literally falls and cracks his elbow, taking another point of damage. I'm going to knock out and kill all of you, aren't I?
I've got 1 bat's worth of health left.
1 bat left. I guess Samson's the only one that falls. Beryl, you're able to catch yourself on the rail of the edge of the ship, and when Samson falls, Dibney's body hits the ground and kind of goes rolling inwardly towards the like interior of that like center of the ship rather than towards the edge. Carl, you catch yourself down here. You recognize that, though, as a hit against the ship, like something has struck the ship. This is not a wave, like, crashing anymore.
Yeah,
what do we
happy
do?
with this.
Is there anything to do? Just curious.
I'm going to have the crew prepare to give maximum power to the engines if we need to outrun or outmaneuver something. Not that we're going to do a lot of that fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get back on the communication device to the captain and ask him what the hell's going on.
You get back onto the horn with the captain, but it seems like in that last strike, I mean, most of your pressure gauges burst literally outward during that strike. That was a heavy hit against the boat. You heard some creaking and some moaning, maybe literal several bolts around your head went firing. Nothing is coming in the ship yet, but it seems like that strike has unfortunately severed whatever communication line is run there
Okay.
or damaged it in some way. So there's no feedback there, but the crew begins preparing. I mean, I think that they're probably just running as if they're putting it into full speed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me a survival check, Carl. I imagine that the next step, I don't want to put it into words for you, but would be to dive in and like help them make that happen, right?
Yeah, that's a 3.
You dive in, you try to help them make that happen. This is confusing. People are lost in sort of chaos around you. I think the crew, it's not that you aren't prepared for this, it's just that the crew around you is panicking and beginning to, this is not a super well tested and experienced crew. They might be trained enough to run this boat, but they have not been like on cruise ships running massive liners like this. You're recognizing right now, unfortunately. Up on the deck, though, Beryl has just caught herself from flipping over the edge and tumbling quite a ways down and into the ocean. Dibney is needing to give me a death saving throw. Which maybe we'll get soon. And then Samson.
It's a 4.
Oh,
Man, Dibney.
That fall, Dibney looks like he's in a heap, like he's kind of curled up on himself. You can see he's breathing, but he doesn't look comfortable.
Beryl, I think we're gonna have to leave him.
Beryl, we can't leave him.
Beryl, I'm hurt pretty bad too now.
He's bleeding from a knock
You're
on
gonna
his
have to
elbow.
help me carry
a light,
him.
you know what? It's like if a kid skinned his elbow, right? It's lightly bleeding. I imagine
gonna
you're
have to help
hurt
me
bad,
carry
but- yeah.
I guess I could get his feet. If you
And
get
I'll get his neck.
yeah, it's two vital points of weight to carry
The
on a
opposite of
person.
a medicine check. Let's stretch this motherfucker.
Listen, Beryl is 17. She doesn't know what to do.
She only learned about every geographic location in the world, not about medicine. She didn't have time.
I know topiary and I know maps. I mean, at least the shapes of countries.
That might be a random double nat 20 that'll come in super handy later.
Is this like a strength check then to see if we can carry him?
Like,
Why don't you
feed
guys-
Neo into a lifeboat?
Why don't you guys give me a survival check, group survival check, with nothing, just a group survival check from the two of you.
I got a 14 for you.
Okay.
Okay, well, I got a 10.
Okay. I think the boat is beginning to like rock and rumble, but you guys are able to like properly
Flop him.
transport how you would Dibney by the neck and ankles. To, are we still going to the like your room, Beryl? Is that the goal?
Yeah, I mean, does it look like the ship's like in like we should get to lifeboat territory? Like
What
Bell's
I'll
gonna
say-
look and see.
No,
What
during
I'll
that
say
last
is, if Dibney was awake, Dibney would be heading to the lifeboats.
but
Hmm.
he's super not.
He's super
So we're
not-
going to Beryl's
He's just
room.
along for the ride.
I'll say that in this moment while you guys are looking around trying to ascertain the health of the ship and maybe Dibney, during that last hit, some like things got knocked over up here, like definitely deck chairs went sliding, like maybe something went wrong with the slide, like it was a heavy hit, right? Like something may have fallen off the slide. People from the other ballrooms, both the upper deck and lower deck ballrooms, are beginning to come out of that door that you guys came out of. They look panicked, I'll say, in this moment. You don't know quite what they're doing, where they're going, what they're where they're heading, but they also look about as panicked as you are.
Okay, Beryl is 17, so she's gonna do what everyone else is doing. Her plan is to run to her room and like pack a bag of like essentials,
Gotta
and
pack a
then
bag.
try and find. So she's still heading to her room. I don't know why Samson thinks that he's also coming inside, but he could
Beryl,
just.
surely you've got some sort of supplies, like a med kit. Anything would be helpful.
Beryl turns to him,
Some
just
old skirts.
Beryl
we could
turns
just
to him
wrap
and
him with
says,
that.
why don't we just meet in your room? You take him to your room, or like grab your stuff, and we'll meet outside your room
The
and
shrimp
maybe try and
easy.
find the captain.
It's just along the corridor, right?
Yeah, it's just
Follow
like,
the
I'll
smell
just-
of the shrimp.
Okay, I'll see you in room 402. That's my other room. It's where I keep the medical supplies.
Oh, perfect. Okay, 402. I won't forget.
I will need your help to carry him there, so I'll just wait here.
Beryl, your floor number is 7. Like you press 7 and it opens up into your room.
Yeah, I have a special. It's 1920s, but I have a
You have
special
a
code.
key.
Yeah,
You have a literal
100%.
key.
A literal brass key to make it work.
Does Samson see that? Like, see me get into this elevator and turn a key?
Oh, I didn't. My key's not as cool.
Oh, you didn't
Y-
get one of these?
Yours is a basic tin key.
Mine's much smaller.
It's a
Oh.
regular door key, not an elevator key.
Yeah, right. Stop off on floor 4. You let Samson carrying. I imagine Dibney smoot out. Dibney, I'm gonna need another death saving throw.
That's a what?
Oh no!
Oh no!
He
Oh.
fell and died.
We set him down. We put his arms over his body.
We accidentally set him down face first, and he smothered and
We
died.
set him down into a puddle.
Dibney, you died as a human in human times, like a real dude would have. Good fucking the first casualty of the boat. I cannot believe that. On the one, I was gonna come up with something in his room with the medical supplies that could possibly save you.
Hey, maybe I can be like a ghost or something.
I think this is where the episode ends. With the death of Dibney's mood.
I can't
Grace
believe
called
that.
it earlier. Grace called the name of the episode earlier.
Oh my god, I did.
Okay,
He was allergic to shellfish after all. It was just it took a long time to reach.
Quick, grab his soul.
boy. Okay, here's how. Oh boy, I'll try to wrap that narratively. That's so sad.
Jimmy meets death and tells him to shove it.
Yeah. The shrimp man goeth. The first episode is definitely the shrimp man cometh, and the second episode is the shrimp man goeth.
Fuck, what a good 2-episode arc.
Oh my god.
And we never did a single fantasy thing.
Okay, so that's wild. Samson leaves the elevator on floor 4 carrying Dibney, although they look a little worse for wear as they go up the hallway. Beryl gets off on floor 7 and begins frantically packing her bag. She throws in her Carhartt that she first big purchase. She, of course, packs her badminton and a few of her favorite outfits and throws them together. Other important objects.
And my charm bracelet.
Your charm
obviously.
bracelet, of course. Your most important objects you definitely throw into the suitcase and begin running frantically or, moving quickly, as a lady would, back towards the elevator. Down in the lower decks.
I also change out of my fancy gear. Like, I'm not in my ball outfit anymore.
Okay, what I'll say what then where we're at with you is that you have packed this bag and you're beginning to change into that this new attire for you as you're
so this
leaving
is
the
what
boat.
Maybe more an athletic cut skirt and a blouse and a sweater over it, just because I'm not sure how much pants were worn in the 20s.
Sure.
And Beryl also had bought her some boots for this trip because you never know what Puerto Rico, has.
Oh, is the jacket the Carhartt?
Oh yeah, the car I've got the blouse, sweater, Carhartt, skirt, boots.
Layers. It's all about layers.
Layers and my silver charm bracelet and my monogrammed badminton.
When I think the Caribbean, I think layers.
Fucking dude, she's dead sprinting around her room and that, and putting it around her neck and just trying to grab it and grab her suitcase. Beryl, I guess, is starting to, it sounds like panic, just throwing layers
like
on.
The person that doesn't want to check a bag on an airport.
Like when we talked about Lawrence was anything you put in a pillowcase is a pillow.
Well, she has to make sure she can carry this bag at least to downstairs, because it seems like she looked in the hallway and she didn't see any staff to carry the bag for her.
Yeah, you would have had to call a staff up the elevator and give them your bag because, again, your elevator opens into your room.
And no one came because I guess that's because
you hit the call button as you went to change. Right. And then, as you're throwing on your Carhartt jacket, looking around frantically if there's anything else you can grab. We're down in the engine room. Carl, your team is panicking, but you've begun to get them under control, and they're really trying to get the ship moving. And the ship is beginning to move forward. And there is a groan and a crack next to you, Carl, and one of these reinforced beams caves inward, absolutely obliterating several of the men just standing in front of you as a wall of water rushes into the bottom of this boat and begins splitting it right down the center.
Great.
I think that is where we'll leave it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Wow.
R.I.P. Dibney.
Oh fuck! I guess I should say a few more things. Carl, yeah, that happens to you. This boat is split up the center. The boat begins to hit and like cave in on itself. I think what happens in the hall is that Samson Billfold, just like you're like moving quickly down the hall, limping maybe dramatically to no one, and your feet literally leave the ground and your back slams into the ceiling of the boat, and Dibney Smoot at that moment just falls from your hands and tumbles down the now vertical hallway in front of you.
Oh.
You're able to catch yourself on like a light fixture on the wall as you begin to kind of go in and out of unconsciousness, but Dibney Smoot falls what would be now several stories and smacks into the rising water at the bottom of that.
I'll
Did
never-
not like that, but I did deserve it.
I'll never ever I'll never ever forget you for as long as I live, waiter.
and
And no one ever knew his real name because he only had aliases.
and
My
as the
disguise
wall
remains
disguise remains,
intact.
the water rushes up this hallway and encompasses Samson, causing him to lose consciousness as well. I think there's a good moment to leave it. Beryl, you also lost consciousness, of course, in your room. Everything went
I
fucking
fell
haywire.
on my bed.
Beryl fell onto her bed
I
cozily,
tripped and fell on my king-size goose feather.
and then
Pull
the
the
bed
covers
flipped over
up
and
and-
kind of pinned her to the ground safely as the boat capsizes.
Beryl's doing the Wizard of Oz, and the rest of us are doing like Titanic.
Yeah, as the Poseidon adventure is what's happening here.
Oh boy, we'll figure out what that means for
Dib.
next time. Or Dibney. Dude,
Oh, GG's, guys. I was
Yeah.
giggling.
This is
and-
a
GG,
good one.
That was,
I was
oh
so
my
happy to be
gosh,
able
that
to
was a
play
riot.
Billfold once again so quickly.
I
I'm
was
blown
really
away.
excited to play Dibney again.
Oh, Dibney.
And then
Oh,
M killed him.
You know,
I did nothing. He had a
No, it was the
character
Nat
with
one.
one
It was the Nat
health.
one.
Yeah, it was.
we're going to a realm of magic and wonder. You know, there might be like an undead race that I could be.
Yeah,
Undead
I think there's
Dibney.
100% a chat that you and I can have, because we even like when we initially talked about this, you were like, I'm gonna come in late, and I was like, cool, we'll make a character that can come in late to this adventure, because I had initial like wicked ideas for where we would be in session 1, totally different ideas. I'd say in session 1 I might have gotten you guys to the island.
But we played badminton instead.
What island? We just
Yeah.
capsized at the end of session 2. Who knows? Anyway, so
Maybe
yeah,
it's
there's
a crossover
options.
episode, and
Shrimp.
Marjorie brings back Dibney.
The Shrimp Man, the
Lamau.
Shrimp Man cometh part 2.
So
Gabe
good.
returns
Oh
as a
my
shrimp
God.
person.
Love it.
Ooh, like an
and
actual
also-
shrimp person.
Yeah, like a shrimp race.
Tomorrow for Dindin is 6:30. Cool.
Yeah. That's a
All
great
right,
time.
sweet. That should be plenty of time for me to get to Grand Rapids and back.
Perfect.
Oh,
Tight. All
GG's,
right.
y'all.
GG's.